Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's so good to be here. I've got a few videos for you. I've been sitting down and doing a little bit more art, getting in touch with my heart, and yeah, happy to be here today. So I'm starting off with this Dina Wakley huge big book, and I've got some gesso here. So I've gessoed the right hand side, and I thought, well, I wonder what gessoing the Hessian would be like. So I did that. It was a very interesting texture to work with for sure. And this video will just be on focusing on the right hand side, but if you're interested to see how gessoing on the Hessian turned out, stay tuned because that's coming up next. So for this video, I wanted to celebrate sort of my newfound love for meditation. So I am totally in love with just spending some time for self-care. And I had this beautiful, little experience the other day, and I thought, yeah, this is what it's all about. So I wanted to utilize this orange, sort of peachy color. I've kind of been in love with peach, and peach represents the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, which has all to do with passion and creativity. So makes sense, don't you think? So I am just putting some peach on, and I'm making sure that I'm putting a lot of water so that it kind of flows and it doesn't have any hard edges. I also took it round to the Hessian, and as you can see, the Hessian comes through on the other side, so you just have to be careful with that. I am adding a little bit of yellow here, and so the yellow represents the color for the solar plexus chakra, and this is a beautiful sort of happy, joyous color for me. So I love the combination of the peach and the yellow, that sort of creativity and joy. That means just the world to me at the moment. So I'm totally in love with this. I'm now adding a little bit of green. Notice here that I'm adding a lot of water. This is why it was really important that I gesso. I didn't want the page to get all soppy. So the water here is just making sure that the edges blur lovely and that there's just this really lovely connection between all the colors and no harsh lines. The addition of the green here is important because the green travels up to the next chakra, which is the chakra of the heart once again. So, kindness, compassion, true love. And so I've got this beautiful feeling as I'm making this. I've got this feeling of creativity and passion for my art. I've got this yellow joy and determination, and then finally I've got that heart feeling that I love what I'm doing. So just in this really beautiful place where I feel it in my body. I'm not thinking about anything in my head. I've come out of my head and into my heart, and I'm totally flowing at this stage. I'm now reaching for a stencil, and I've got this beautiful girl that sort of represents meditation to me. So I'm sponging on some black paint. You can choose to ink her in here, or you can choose to sponge, which is what I'm doing here. Make sure when you sponge that you kind of tap it out, because paint will accumulate underneath the stencil and it will sort of blur the edges and not be so crisp in your lines. But then again, that doesn't really matter. So see how you go and experiment with whether you like to ink or put some paint through stencil. I love this girl. She is sort of a representation of peace and calm. I sort of picture her going to her special place when the storm is all around her. Say, you're at work and everybody's talking and you just can't seem to get a word in, and there's no point really because no one's really listening anyway. So I just sort of retreat into my inner calm, nice big breath, remind myself that I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to fall for what's happening all around me. Stay calm, stay centered, and be true to yourself. So this is sort of what I've been doing recently. Work has been amazingly crazy. You guys know I work at an aged care home, so it has been beautiful, but it's been ever so hard, and dementia is just on the rise. So yeah, you've got to learn to cope. with what comes up for you. Like, crazy things happen during the day anyway. People say crazy things and people do things that I don't know if they're aware of or not, but it's how we take it. That's the most important thing. So part of how I'm handling it, and a lot of people are asking me, how in the world do you do this day in, day out? A lot of the parents that come in to ask, they're like, I don't know how you do it. This is why I chose to put my parent into an aged care facility. And the answer is, that's my purpose. Number one, I have this drive inside to give care. And so that helps always to connect to your purpose. But you also need some tools to cope. It's all good to have a purpose, but when you're not coping, you kind of forget your purpose sometimes. So definitely meditation, definitely self-care is super, super important, not just for care, but for everybody. There are a lot of people out there, nurses and doctors and high pressure areas where you need to perform your life's your life's job, your where you make your money, where you need to eat and pay the bills. So people are depending on you to go to work, make the hard decisions, and bring the money. So you need to be able to cope in those situations. And I believe that when we're true to ourselves, and we really are able to listen to what's inside, and to calm the crazy in our head and the inner critic, and the how to cope with how people are sometimes not kind, and people are always wanting and taking from you and expecting you to deliver more and more. Well, you can't expect people to just coddle you and tell you that you're beautiful and to bring things in your own time. You are there for you. And you have to be able to tap into that inner strength, and that inner self-love to keep you going. So for this page, I've chosen the answer comes in the silence. And it's so true. When the world is stormy all around me, I sort of retreat into this core of me, and I remember everything that is important, and you just hear it. I'm enough. I can do this. I am good enough. I'm loved by me. I know why I'm doing this. So, and when you are in self-care and when you are in self-love, that is enough. And when you try to tap in and it doesn't come, it means that you need to spend more time looking after yourself and putting yourself first. And I just want to say that taking care of yourself is not selfish. We do need to fill our own cup first. And once we are happy, once our inner confidence, our inner joy is filled, it starts to overfill. And then you can give to others from the overflow of your cup. But when you are giving and you feel like resentful, and you do things, but you don't feel the gratitude, you don't feel the effect, you tell people that, you've helped people, and people are like, you're amazing, thank you. You're like, oh no, nothing to do with me. This is who I am. Well, I think that's just an indicator that you need a little bit of self-love, and you need to see how worthy you are, and how much you've delivered to other people, and to take compliments beautifully, because there is a law of giving and taking. There is a law in allowing people to comment and to give back, because if you've delivered a gift to someone, they automatically want to thank you. So in taking their thank yous, you are sort of completing that beautiful act that you've just done. So for me, self-care is really important. For me, meditation has allowed me to calm my thoughts and be able to get in touch with my strength when things are just a little bit too much. So I hope you guys do get time for self-care. I hope you do get time to realize that you are important in your life, that you are important to people around you. You may not think so, you might not even think about it, but you are. You always are. Look at the people around you and see how they love you and how much you mean to them. And I hope you do find time for self-love and you do have time for self-care. And, meditation doesn't necessarily have to be the word meditation. Meditation could be art. Meditation could be taking a walk. Meditation is anything that allows you to get out of your head and into your heart and just enjoy being a human being instead of a human doing. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and I hope to see you in my next video.